Welcome to Applied Technology Podcast. Talking technology, you're talking applied. Hello and welcome everyone. We are on our second episode of our ATG podcast. Our topic of discussion will be ATG Chat. And today I have with me Lori Barnes.
Hello.
And I have Mark.
Hello.
Today, like I said, we would be talking about ATG Chat. We're going into it as far as the values, technicality behind it. And we'll go ahead and start with Lori. What is the purpose and the value of having this service to begin with?
Well, I am super excited to talk about ATG Chat because I personally use this device every single day. It allows me as a manager to be able to stay connected with my team. I get to hear what they're doing. I get to hear where they are. If they have any issues where they need extra parts, we can assist and jump in. There's just so much value to having this app on my cell phone because the cool thing is it interacts with the two-way radio system. So it's adding another dimension to what we already provide. And we use two-way radios every day in our life. And we see the value of the one-to-many communications. So when we had the opportunity to develop this app and communicate and connect into a much larger communications system, it opened our world. And we see that there's so many different industries that can benefit by having ATG Chat in their arsenal of communications because you just never know where someone's going to be, and if you can push to talk and get to them instantly, it's fast, it's clean, and you don't have to fumble with knowing their phone number. You just pop on the app, punch their name, and away you go.
So it's like a little bit more than just like regular communication. It's like a form of effective, quick communication.
Right. It adds to what you're already using.
So that's a little bit more like on the value side on how, it basically benefits the users. And going a little bit over to Mark. Mark, if you could just explain a little bit how this service works.
Yeah, it's actually super easy to do. Basically, all you do is provide us a phone number or an email, and once we receive that, we can actually adopt it to the system. And once the app is uploaded onto the phone, you can it's pretty much ready to go that
So
day.
super user friendly.
User friendly. You just touch on the app, and then you can kind of just go from there. A lot of functionalities with it. You can do just your basic one-on-one meeting if you just need to talk to another person on one of your hillsides or one of your mountain sites that has a radio in their hand, and you're communicating directly with them with their radio and with your phone application there with ATG Chat. Or if you want to do multiple users, so if you're talking to multiple sites, so say I've got 5 sites and I've got 5 people on each site, I can locate every single one of those personnel to be able to communicate back to see, if they're setting up a microwave system or repeater system or anything like that. We can all communicate to be able to get our jobs done effectively and quickly. So that's a really nice benefit to be able to reach that personnel on pretty much all different locations. But it allows more than that too. We can actually see the functionality of how the GPS on the ATG Chat works as well. So if you're managing one of your projects and you have a tech or multiple techs on another job site, you can actually see who's at what site and know who you're talking to exactly, so you know what their project needs to be done. And if you're at another area with talking with another group, you're obviously going to be able to help that technician as well to be able to communicate back with them. So that's a really, really neat thing to be able to do and get that quick communication back to them right away. Definitely a lot of good beneficial factors to that. The biggest thing I've learned, it's you can use it for multiple users, and it could be for healthcare, agriculture, hospitality, construction. The list goes on of who this will actually benefit. Hospitals with security. If security needs to talk to a head ER with their radio system, and let's say they're on one side of the hospital there, and the nurse needs help, then they can pretty much get somebody to help
Mhm.
with any situation at any time. And it's instant when you open that application.
Mhm.
Um, the radio, same thing. You hit the push to talk to right directly on the radio. It's going to communicate right back to the phone, and it's instantaneously. You're not having to fumble around with trying to find a phone number.
Mhm.
Because I've seen it time after time where
Mhm.
somebody's in their phone going, "Oh man, I need to figure out who I need to call," and it's kind of panic sets in
Yeah.
to where when you have the feasibility of the app in your hand and
Mhm.
you know that you can contact somebody else on the other side with a radio, with their phone application or
Mhm.
the device, you're going to be able to communicate right back to them instantaneously and pretty much get that person help, which is
Mhm.
which is a great feature of that. Um, so I've seen that multiple times.
Yeah.
And actually, I got a big story from one of the farms that we dealt with. They used ATG Chat, and they
Mhm.
actually used it on their computer,
Mhm.
which they were dispatching from the computer. One of the gentlemen was in one of the mountainsides and saw a smoke plume,
Oh.
was able to get out with ATG Chat talking on dispatch
Mhm.
back to the radio, and they were able to get the fire department involved and get that fire contained.
Oh,
So
wow.
that was instant, and that was radio directed to the ATG Chat,
Mhm.
and they were able to stop that. So that was a huge benefit because that could have been a large catastrophe.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that we were able to be a part of that, to be
Yeah.
able to see that
Oh,
functionality work.
wow.
So pretty amazing story.
Yeah,
So
especially in the world that we live in today, I feel like it's like the faster the better. So having that easy access, especially in an emergency, it's very important. And you sort of reviewed all the different industries that can definitely benefit from ATG Chat.
mhm.
And that is a crazy awesome example of how it's important to have that much of a reliable program or way to communicate, especially in a moment like that.
Yeah, and it actually works nationwide too, and
Hmm.
it's all U.S. carriers
Hmm.
with cellular, so it doesn't matter which cell phone provider you use. It works over the whole platform. So if I have a crew that's going to Chicago
Hmm.
or New York or Florida, or even right here in our backyard in California,
Hmm.
um, we can communicate back, and it's instant.
Hmm.
So that's the nice thing about having that communication back and forth with ATG Chat.
Hmm.
Um, it doesn't matter where that person is.
Hmm.
We can make contact.
Anywhere in the
Hmm.
US. That's really
Yeah.
cool. Hmm.
So, and and it's real time too. It's
Yeah.
it's not like there's delay or anything. You're calling, and it's right then and there. And it's something that ATG Chat will allow me to get to somebody instantaneously. We have the tools, and one of the major tools we have is ATG Chat to be able to communicate.
Mhm.
So
And
it's
that's the beauty of
yeah.
hybrid communications.
Mm.
And that's what we love to do is cross-platform.
Mhm.
So you have your two-way radio system as your backbone, and then you add an extra layer of ATG chat onto that network. ATG chat can stand alone, just like what
Mhm.
Mark explained. It can be its own device, but having it layered on top of your two-way radio network just extends the capabilities of what you can do with your communications. It can be for safety, it could be to pick up parts, it could be to confirm meeting space. It also has a texting capability within the app. There's just so much, and we just want to get the word
Mhm.
out and make sure that people know that there's a lot of resources now for communications, and we love ATG chat.
Yeah. I feel like it's both like in quality and quantity. It's
Right.
like you said, Mark, like,
Absolutely.
plenty can be plethora of people can be in there involved, and also, it's very, very effective communication.
Another really neat feature is it'll hook up to your Bluetooth in your car,
Mhm.
so you're hands free.
Hey, that's
So
that's good.
that's huge. You're not going to get pulled over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great feature to have. If they're traveling, it's peace of mind that I know that I'm gonna be able to get a hold of them
Right.
because their Bluetooth's on. I'm calling.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
And
excuses.
and it does work out of the country.
Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for just taking the time to explain ATG chat. I know that I learned a lot from even just this conversation. So I hope and envision that anybody who listens to the podcast will be able to sort of feel that sense. And then also, we would like to invite them if there's any questions, they can go ahead and comment on the section below where this podcast will be. And maybe in the future, we can answer some ATG chat questions that people might have.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So we could do that too.
Look forward to those calls.
Well, thank you guys for stopping by and chatting about ATG chat.
Thank you for
Thank
having us.
you.
Thank you.